Welcome to the State Farm FS1 College Football Halftime Show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, what's up? Welcome inside our LA studios. Mike Hill along with Emmanuel Acho and Chris Peterson. Of course, we'll get you back out for the second half between Baylor and Houston very shortly. But first, we got to get you caught up on other action from around the country. It's our State Farm halftime highlight, starting with a crazy finish between BYU and ASU. 10 seconds left in the game. Arizona State up 28-23. Fourth down, Sam Levitt just trying to toss it up there. Let's just let the clock run out, right?
Looks like grounding to me, Mike.
Well, hey, but you know what? They thought the game was over. Fans stormed the field, but after a review, 1 second was added back to the clock, and Kenny Dillingham is losing his mind. So the fans, they've already taken down the goalpost. They're out there. Hey, you got to get back into the stands, right? Because we still got 1 second on this clock, and guess what happens? BYU, final chance, Jake Resloff looking downfield. Chase Roberts is there. A 2-yard shot.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Arizona State wins it 28-23. The fans out, you can come back out. The game's over now. BYU, second straight loss. Arizona State right there in the mix in the Big 12. Colorado controlled its own destiny before they played Kansas and bow down to Devin Neal because he just ran all over Colorado today.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know what's going on in the Big 12.
Shedeur Sanders doing his thing, though. Travis Hunter
Doing his thing.
always. Another huge game, the second touchdown of the game, over 100-yard receiving. Yes, didn't hurt his Heisman hopes, but Colorado's hopes really hurt by Devin Neal in that rushing attack. Over 300 yards rushing. He had over 200 yards rushing himself. Devin Neal, yeah, count him out. 4, like his jersey number, 4 touchdowns today. Colorado's defense has been one of the big stories all season long, how much improved they have been. Today, they look mediocre against that Kansas rushing attack.
Don't say mediocre.
Not even mediocre?
Don't say mediocre.
Not
It
even-
was atrocious. It was abysmal.
Okay,
It was
okay.
embarrassing. And I can say that because I know Deion Sanders would say that himself. My coach would always say, put something on tape you can be proud of. And Colorado did nothing to be proud of defensively today. Shout out to Kansas. Kudos to Kansas. 331 yards rushing is utterly impressive. But what Colorado did was abysmal. And the worst part about it, Coach, they put it on tape. And so now other teams will smell blood in the water, and they will try to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I don't know what's crazier. Kansas beating 3 ranked teams back to back to back,
Yep.
or Colorado's defense just not showing up. But I will say this about Kansas. I mean, that offense just controlled it. They had 8 possessions, scored on 7 of them. The only time they didn't score was the last possession of the game. They took and killed the clock. That, like, having 7 possessions, that's like playing option football. So you take Shedeur and that good offense right out of the game. This was a really great game plan.
Not necessarily unexpected. We give a lot of hype to Colorado. Let's give some love to Kansas. Like you mentioned, 3 straight games against ranked teams. This is the first time ever in FBS history that an unranked team or a team under 500 has ever done that. What's been the difference for Kansas after that very slow start?
They jump out on teams early.
Okay.
To me, if you can jump out on teams early, if you can keep in your rhythm, keep running the ball, then you can do whatever it is that you want to do. They never were forced to pass because they always had a lead and they played with the lead.
All right, that Big 12 crazy because of Kansas being spoiler down the stretch. Meanwhile, Texas still at 3rd in this week's playoff rankings and still without any wins against currently ranked teams. Longhorns hosting Kentucky today in Austin.
Put your arms down, Mike.
Once again,
unless you're going to do something with them arms, put your arms down,
Okay,
Mike. Because Texas and Quinn Ewers right here. He's doing something with his arm, finding Gunnar Helm in the back of the end zone. Texas takes a nice little 7-0 lead.
They're up 7-0. There you go. Quinn Ewers, Helm again.
This is pretty.
They're going to have a ranked team next week.
No doubt about it. Texas versus Texas A&M for the first time since I was there, but we will talk more about that later on.
31-14. Number 9, Ole Miss, Florida. Give credit to Florida, man.
And Montrell Johnson in the Wildcat. They look pretty.
24-17, take the lead late. Lane Kiffin not happy about this. Jackson Dart, nice game early, but then fourth quarter, last 2 possessions threw 2 costly interceptions. That one picked up by Bryce Thornton. Maybe Ole Miss's playoff hopes thwarted.
No maybe.
Gators win at 24-17. Wake Forest, number 8, Miami. Miami trying to keep their ACC championship hopes alive, get into the championship game. Cam Ward doing his part.
And they're going to always have a chance with Cam Ward.
Always. He's one of the best. That's why he's a Heisman contender there. And the defense coming through. Mish
Powell, let's go.
Mish Powell, 77-yard pick 6. Miami wins it 42-14. Win next week against Florida State. They're in against SMU because SMU punched his ticket today against Virginia. Kevin Jennings, look at this strike.
We are liking this SMU team a lot, Arch.
They look good, Coach, and they have all season. That's the crazy thing. Their consistency is next level.
They're blue bloods. That's what they say. Jennings, Matthew Hibner, 16-yard touchdown. SMU in the ACC championship game, 33-7. Number 4, Penn State, Minnesota battle here. Nick Singleton with his team down 6. Scoring, giving them a lead, 23-22 in the third. Late in the fourth, only a 1-point game. 4th and 1. Luke Reynolds, the fake.
Let me just say this. Penn State 1,000% deserves to win this game, calling that fake in that situation. That is awesome
Takes
football.
a lot of cojones right there. 26-25, they win. Number 5, Indiana. Number 2, Ohio State. This was the game. Indiana, even though 10-0 had a lot to prove, we found out special teams not so special for them.
That was the difference. Well, that was one of the huge differences in the game.
Caleb Downs, one of those dudes that Ohio State has. They win at 38-15. Howard saying, hey, Google that.
Oh,
Shout out to
we throwing shots.
from Columbus, Rob Stone and the crew.
After falling behind 7-0, the Buckeyes rattle off 31 straight points en route to a comfortable win. They get a victory next Saturday over Michigan. They are back in the Big Ten championship game. What did you see from their red zone offense today?
Well, I saw it, and we made a point in the playbook. The team that is successful in the red zone and goal line, that's going to win the game. And remember, when you get to the red zone inside the 5-yard line, it's pass-fail grade. Kicking a field goal is a minus, you fail. Scoring a touchdown, you win. And they were 4 or 5 after the first one. I still don't understand why they try to drive it in there with 22 people around the ball. But they spaced it out, made some plays, threw the ball, and ran the edges, and they were 4 out of 5 in the red zone.
Will Howard, incredibly efficient, 21 for 25, almost 200 yards, a couple touchdowns, really controlled the game there. You love to see that. The offensive line was a concern. We were kind of curious to see how that would play out. I thought they did a really good job, rushed for over 100 yards.
I thought the pressure package that Ohio State brought into the game, it was too much for Indiana to handle. They had 5 sacks, they had 10 multiple quarterback hurries, and they just had Curtis Rourke under duress all day today.
And for Indiana, guys, they had a chance to prove the doubters wrong today. They didn't get the job done. Now the real question is going to be how far do they fall in the playoff ranking. It's still a really good football team, but let's see what the committee thinks.
Need some help.
Michigan week begins right now. 1,820 days since the Buckeyes last beat the team up north. We've got it live for you next Saturday on Fox.
You know what they're doing on the Ohio State campus right now? Crossing out every M. Every M, because it is Michigan week. And next weekend on Fox, Ohio State battles Michigan. College football's most intense rivalry coverage begins next Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, special 3-hour edition of Big Noon Kickoff live from Columbus. Meanwhile, Georgia got the week off, taking on UMass. Nobody actually.
I really hate even saying this, but are we calling this a Venmo or a Zelle game? Because that's what this is all about.
Straight Cash App, whatever gets it done. Crypto going up.
Crypto game.
Yeah, crypto going up, man. Seriously. Georgia rolls 59-21. Number 11, Tennessee, UTEP. Another cash game. Nico Iamaleava. Right there.
Very nice.
Squirrel white touchdown. Nico I once again blew McCoy. No problem. 56-0. Tennessee wins there. Hey, tomorrow is a huge NFL doubleheader on Fox. First, the Cowboys take on the Commanders or other regional action. Then we got America's Game of the Week. Christian McCaffrey, the banged-up Niners against Jordan Love and the Packers. I think Jordan Love would throw a pick in that game.
Been doing it all season.
All season long. Or the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Check for the games in your area, only on Fox. Second half between Baylor and Houston is coming up.
Well, play of the first half came from Michael Trigg for Baylor, skying up there. Not only a highlight play, he's got a career high one half through, almost 100 yards receiving. It includes a touchdown, and Baylor trying to keep their hopes alive to go to the Big 12 championship game. Spencer Tillman, Connor Onion, thanks for being back with us. Let's talk about Sawyer Robertson, because there was a pick, there's a touchdown drive, there's another pick, then another touchdown drive. It's been this, that, everything for Sawyer Robertson.
It's been famine and feast,
Yep.
and I give that order in particular because of the way the highlights came. Sawyer Robinson struggled a little bit. If squatted on, Jeremiah Wilson does it on this particular play. I telegraphs that pass, and then he has some help from Trigg. The guy we just showed you a minute ago goes up and high points that one. Again, this one, he takes it to the other house. Same guy. Off coverage that time, so you got to find a way to get the rhythm. But I will say this, when they got going and got scoring, all 3 of Baylor's scoring drives, 11 plays or more, they basically flipped the script and done to them, Houston, what Houston is specialized in, and that's in stealing possessions away. Today, Sawyer's turned around the numbers.
And that passing yardage number looks a lot like where he was at this point last week when he went for a career high in the win against West Virginia. Baylor's trying to win 5 in a row, go from 0-3 in the Big 12 all the way to the championship game if they can win out and get some help. Second half coming soon.